Welcome to our daily news and following today's top stories.
Vietnamese Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng met Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao in Beijing. President Trương Tấn Sang and Indian Prime Minister Mohammed Singh emphasized that developing the two countries' relations is a top priority in each country's foreign policy. Germany supports Vietnam's bids to negotiate a free trade agreement with the EU. The 8th session of the Vietnam-EU Joint Commission took place in Brussels, Belgium early this week, discussing a new period in bilateral ties.
Vietnamese Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng met Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao in Beijing on October 12 as part of his activities during his visit to China.
At the meeting, Party General Secretary Trọng recognized rapid, strong and comprehensive developments in the relations of the two parties and countries over the past 20 years. He said Vietnam-China cooperation has seen development in all fields with outstanding progress in economics, trade, control, education and training, science and technology. The party leader said the relation between the two parties and states is an important factor for the stability and development of Vietnam and China. The two sides spoke highly of the two countries' signing of the 5-year Vietnam-China Economic Trade Cooperation Development Scheme. The two leaders shared the same view that, in future, the two sides will accelerate people-to-people exchange activities, particularly for children and young people, and boost cooperation between the two countries' localities. Both host and guest expressed their firm belief that, through the visit, the Vietnam-China Comprehensive Strategic Cooperation Partnership will be further developed.
The same day, Party General Secretary Trọng met with Chairman of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, Ttxvn.
Host and guest highlighted that the close, effective and practical cooperation between the Vietnam Fatherland Front and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference has been constantly consolidated and developed. The two leaders suggested the two countries' mass organizations continue to bring into play their roles, promote the spirit of cooperation and friendship, and maintain regular high-ranking visits and friendship exchanges between the two peoples to raise their mutual understanding and trust, satisfactorily settling existing issues in the two countries' relations.
State President Trương Tấn Sang met Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh following an official welcoming ceremony held at the Presidential Palace in New Delhi on October 12.
Both host and guest emphasized that developing the two countries' relations is a top priority in each country's foreign policy and an important factor in ensuring regional peace and stability. On regional and international issues, the two leaders agreed to further promote the fine cooperation and coordination at regional and international frameworks. Both leaders emphasized the importance of maintaining peace, stability, and ensuring maritime safety, security, and freedom in the East Sea. They also agreed that disputes in the East Sea need to be settled through peaceful negotiations based on international law, including the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. After the meeting, President Sang and Prime Minister Mohammed Singh witnessed the signing of 6 cooperative agreements. The two countries issued a joint statement on the occasion of Sang's visit.
Also on October 12, President Trương Tấn Sang met with Indian President Pratibha Patil, Lower House Speaker Meera Kumar, and Defense Minister Anthony. On October 13, the President visited Mumbai City and received Maharashtra Governor Mr. Sankarana Rayanan. Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng on October 12 inspected flood control efforts in Mekong Delta provinces, where floods have killed at least 34 people and submerged 60,000 homes.
He asked authorities from Long An, Dong Thap and An Giang provinces to try and minimize the effects of the floods on people. This also meant taking advantage of the region's strength in rice production and aquaculture. The authorities in turn asked the government to provide additional budget money for the provinces to help with the recovery. Dũng said long-term efforts to cope with floods will help minimize human losses and other damage to important infrastructure. He suggested provinces improve the dike system to protect rice fields and prepare seedlings for resuming production. According to the National Steering Committee for Flood and Storm Prevention and Control, another storm Bani An is heading closer to the East Sea.
Germany supports Vietnam's bids to enhance comprehensive cooperation with the European Union and negotiate the signing of the free trade agreement with the EU, German Chancellor Angela Merkel said at the Vietnam-Germany Economic Forum in Ho Chi Minh City on October 12.
Merkel said that Germany pledged to maintain official development assistance to Vietnam, focusing on areas such as sustainable development, environment, healthcare, and vocational training. She expressed her optimism about the prospect of bilateral economic ties between Germany and Vietnam, saying that both countries want to increase economic cooperation and boost bilateral trade. She said German businesses are keen to invest in the long term in many fields in Vietnam, especially in infrastructure and human resource development. The same day, Chancellor Merkel met with Chairman of Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee Lê Hoàng Quân and told him that Ho Chi Minh City is a destination in Vietnam where Germany wants to increase cooperation. On the afternoon of the same day, Merkel departed from Ho Chi Minh City, concluding her visit to Vietnam from October 11th to 12th at the invitation of Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng.
The 8th sessions of the Vietnam-EU Joint Commissions took place in Brussels, Belgium, early this week, discussing a new period in bilateral ties.
The two sides pledged to fulfill necessary measures as soon as possible to sign a new partnership and cooperation agreement. The EU side reaffirmed its commitment to support Vietnam's socio-economic development plans as well as its reform process. The two sides also discussed ways to eradicate trade and investment barriers and explored possibilities for the start of negotiations on a mutually beneficial and comprehensive free trade agreement. They agreed to promote cooperation in other fields, including security, nuclear power, chemistry, biology, infectious diseases, climate change, and postgraduate education. The Vietnam-EU Joint Commission organizes biannual sessions to prepare for high-level discussions within the framework of a cooperative agreement between the European Commission and Vietnam that was signed on July 17, 1995. This was the first time the Commission met since the Partnership and Cooperation Agreement was initiated in October 2010.
A workshop and exhibitions on drainage and wastewater treatment in Southeast Asia took place in the southern province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu on October 12.
The two-day event was attended by representatives from members of the Southeast Asian Water Utilities Network, relevant companies and agencies in the Southeast Asian countries and Japan. Participants also went on one-day tour to the Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Urban Water Sewage and Drainage Joint Stock Company to study the local operation models. Presentations and discussions at the event focused on management models, legal frameworks, and investment policies in the field of drainage. Herbert Jenny, an expert from Asian Development Bank, said while Vietnam has put in place an adequate legal framework for water supply, the issue of drainage is still new to the country, resulting in insufficient fundings and human resources. Therefore, the workshop provided some foundations for the country to set up the legal framework in this field.
The 32nd meeting of Asian senior officials on drug matters assault convened for 3 days in the Laos capital city of Vientiane with the participation of more than 100 delegates from ASEAN member countries, the United Nations and the U.S. drug crime prevention agencies.
The meeting, which closed on October 12th, assessed the implementation of action plans approved at previous meetings, especially highlighting the close cooperation between ASEAN with its partner countries of the Republic of Korea, China, and Japan to raise effectiveness in combating drug crimes in the region. ASEAN and the partner countries will promote the exchange of information and expertise for more effective cooperation in the time to come. At the meeting, head of the Vietnamese delegation, Hoàng Anh Tuyên, said Vietnam will expand international cooperation in drug control with ASEAN and neighboring countries to prevent effectively the drug illegal trafficking from foreign countries into Vietnam or via Vietnam to other countries, in line with the roadmap for a drug-free ASEAN by 2015.
And that comes to the conclusion of our program. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with more news.